Hello guys, myself Shantanu Vyavare welcomes you to the lecture series of RDBMS. In today's session, we are going to discuss the topic schema and instances, data independence. So let's start with the schema and instances. What is schema? In simple words, we can say that schema is a structure of a table. Okay. And then what is instance? Instance means tuple, what you are inserted in the table. So let's see the details. The collection of information stored in the database at a particular moment is called an instance of a database. The occurrence of an entity is called an instance. Means here you are inserting some values into the schema. So these values are called as the instance. A database table ultimately holds each instance of an entity as a record or rows in the table. An example of an instance of the entity student would be Sagar. So here table is given, that is schema, and the records are inserted. These are called as the database instance. So the concept of a database schema and instances can be understood by analogy of a program written in the programming language. A database schema corresponds to the variable declaration in the program. Each variable has a particular value at a given instance. The value of the variables in a program at a point in time corresponds to an instance of a database schema. So there is a big relation between that schema and instance. Each variable, you can say that declared, is a part of a schema. So there are three types of schemas: physical schema, or it is also called as an internal level schema. Second is a conceptual schema, or it is also called as a logical schema. Third one is the external schema, or it is a views. So this is some overview of schemas and instances, or you know that you have already studied a data abstraction. What data abstraction contains? Three levels: physical level, conceptual or logical level, and last one is the view level. So these schemas and instances also an example of that particular data abstraction. So let's discuss schemas and instances. So here you have a disk. Okay, disk means you have a database. The database having three levels basically. That is physical schema. What is physical schema? Actual structure of a table, you can say that. Conceptual schema, this is the second level. What is conceptual schema? It contains instances of a schema. Okay. And what is third level? That is external schema, or you can say view level. Okay. It means that particular instances is categorized into different parts. It chops into a different schemes. That is called as the external schemas. So physical level, how data is stored; logical level, what data is stored; and what is view level. View level means you have to make a separatization of data. So here is one example given, that is what is schema and instances, and what are that three levels. So first is external view, you can say that internal level, that is structure of that particular table. This is described in C language. that is structure staff. Staff means it is an entity. You can say that. Okay, object. So it is declared here staff number, branch number, then first name, last name, date of birth, salary. These are the variables of a particular schema. Okay. So this is a structure that is in physical level that we are going to discuss. Then conceptual level or logical level contains different types of that structure already created, and we are going to create an instance of that particular schema. So here is a staff name, F name, L name, date of birth, salary, branch number, age, DOT. These are the contents that we have to insert into a table that is called as an instance, and that is conceptual level. What is the external level? So you have to chop up it into different parts. View number 1, view number 2. What view number 1 contains student number, first name, age. What view number 2 contains staff number, L name, branch. So means you have to chop up that particular uh, schema into different parts. That is called as the view level. So this is a very good example of that levels. Physical schema. Physical schema describes the database design at the physical level. It specifies additional storage details. Essentially, the physical schema summaries how the relation described, how the relation is described. In physical level that we have already seen that how data is stored. Okay. Similar way, how the relation is described. So database in terms of particular data schema and fixed organization. It deals with assembling at word into data compression and opinion techniques. Means you can compress the data, or there are different techniques that you have to use to deal with the how we are going to assemble the particular schema. So conceptual level schema, the conceptual schema, or it is also called as the logical schema, describes the stored data in terms of the data model of the DBMS. In the maternal DBMS, the conceptual schema describes all relations that are stored in the database. All relations that are stored in the database means what you are going to store into a database. So in this level contains the logical schema of a database. So in the conceptual schema represents all entities, their ambits, and the relationships, the constants of integrity informations. Means you need to insert the records or values which should satisfy that particular things. And third one is the external schema or view. As we have discussed it, the external schema which usually as also and also in terms of the data model of the DBMS allows data access to be customized the level of individual users or a group of users. Means you have to create the different users and you have to access that schema or part of the schemas in that different level of users. It describes the part of the database. Part of a database means you can say you have to you have a particular part of that particular database, and it should be relevant to a particular user. How it is? It should be relevant. It should be relevant means it should be accessible to the user, and it can be useful for the user. The views in the level may display data in the different formats or combine data from several entities. View may provide different presentations of the same data form, and some user might view dates in the form while other prefer. So there are different formats of the dates. As per the date you require to insert the values. Some views might include derived or calculated data and age of necessary. Derived means through a particular variable, you have to generate another variable. Okay. Like suppose if you have a birthday, so you can calculate the age of a particular employee from his birthday. That calculation and calculated value is called as the derived attribute, or you can say derived value. Now we are going to discuss what is data independence. Data independence, in simple words, you can say that there should not be dependency on each other level, you can say. So there are different levels. So basically there are two basic levels, physical and logical. So these should be independent with each other. In simple words, suppose you have created a table and you are going to insert the records or values into the table. Okay. When you change some physical structure of a table, it should not affect on the values what we have already inserted. So let's go to the details. Data independence means when we bring out changes in lower levels, then upper level does not feel any effect. That is, changing internal level does not affect conceptual level. Data independence is one of the DBMS. It also have two types, physical data independence and logical data independence. As we have discussed, that if you are going to change anything in a one level, it should not affect to the other level. That is called as the data independence. Now let's discuss what is physical data independence. Physical means you know that in schemas and instances you have physical schema. Okay. Means structure of a schema. It deals with hiding the details of the storage structure from user applications. How you are going to store the data. The application should not be involved with these uses. Since then, no difference in the operation comes out against the data. The data independence and operation independence together, since the data features of data abstraction. Physical data independence says that application program should not be named with the physical data organization. The application program should not need to be modified when physical data organization changes. Means, in simple words, you can say that if you are going to change the structure or change anything in the physical data, it should not affect your application program. Means programmer is going to do something for inserting the records into the table. So that program, it's not need to be changed, that programs, application programs. It should not be changed if you change the physical data. What is logical data independence? Vice versa, you can say. Means suppose if you have changed some applications program, it should not be, it should not need to change the physical structure of a table. The ability to change the logical schema without changing the external schema is called logical data independence. This is the definition. Means if you are going to change any application program, not need to change a physical structure. For the addition or removal of a new entities, attributes, or relationship to the conceptual schema should be possible without having to change existing external schemas or having to rewrite existing code. Logical data independent refers to the community of application programs to the logical structure of a database or an example. Means community means there are two levels. So at logical level, there are different types of programmers which is going to change the data. So this is called as the community. Okay. So that community application means is a group of people who are working on the particular application. So if we add more ambits to the relation in the database, The data access method used by application should not be applied. So if you are going to change any relationship between database, then it should not affect the application. Logical data independence is difficult to achieve than physical data independence because the application programs are very much dependent on the logical structure of the data. How it is difficult? In simply, you know that if you are going to create any application program, it is basically dependent on the physical structure given to that application program. And depending on that physical structure, he is going to create the application program. So if you are going to change any physical structure, so application program doesn't work. Or if you have to change any application program, it should not affect on the structure. So this is the concept. Now let us discuss what is ER diagram. ER diagram is entity relationship diagram. What is entity? So entity means a object particular which is unique in the universe. Okay. So let's go to the details. It is a data model in which information stored in the database is viewed as set of entities, set of relationships among the entities. Simply, it can be dependent or depends on domain knowledge or and a data property. So ER diagram contains a basic three part, means it is chopped into a three part. First one is the entity, second is the relationship amongst that entities, and third one is the attributes of an entity. So let's discuss each point. So what is entity? Entity. So it is the real world object with some characteristics. It is a real world object. You can say example, if you are going to see the example like student, employee, job, duster, table. So these are some examples of the object, and it should have characteristics. Characteristics means each and every object have its own specifications. Like suppose student. So student have student number, student age, address, mobile number. So lot of things that you can explain. Or second definition, an entity is an object that has its existence in the real world. It includes all those things about which data is collected. An entity set, so collection of entities. It is a set of entities that the same types that shares the same properties or attributes. The set of all persons who are customers at a given bank. So example can be defined as the entity set customer. What is attribute? Attribute means you can say that properties of an object uh, or entity. Attributes are units that describe the characteristics or properties of entities. In a database, entities are represented by tables and attributes are represented by its columns. Means if you have a table schema, in that schema, suppose student is the schema, then what are the attributes? Student is the entity, you can say. Means it will be converted into schema. What are the attributes? Attributes means the columns of that particular table, like student number, student name, student age. So these are the attributes. Domain. The domain of the attribute is the collection of all the possible values an attribute can have. What is domain? Domain means, suppose students. In a class there are 10 students. Suppose. So values of a student number 1 to 10 is a domain. What is field or column? A column represents one related part of the table and is the smallest logical structure of a storage in the database. It holds one piece of information about an atom of a object. It is generally used for a group of alphanumerical characters. What is table? A table is a collection of logical related multiple records. Depending on the database software, a table can be referred to as a file. So these are the common things that you know. So what ER diagram contains? So ER diagram contains attributes. So these are the attributes, means this is the entity, okay, complete. So these are the data values from the entities given. What are the attributes? Employee number, employee name, designation, salary. These are the attributes. What is domain? Domain means these are the values of a salary. This is called as the domain of a salary. What is domain of a department? So this is the domain of a department. So what is entity set? This complete table is called as the entity set, means having different entities. Ram, Mohan, Ramesh. So collection of that means entities. Okay. So it is very interesting topic, as again we are exploring what are the different types of attributes. So as you know that attribute means it is a property of a particular object. So simple and composite attribute. The simple attributes can be divided further, but composite attributes cannot be divided. So salary. Salary is not divided in any part. It's having only one amount. But suppose address, you can convert address or you can divide that address into different parts like PIN number, house number, street number, city, like that. Okay. Or you can say a different example like name of a student. So first name, then other name, that is middle name, and surname. You can divide that. That is called as the composite attribute. Okay. So here examples are given. What is derived attribute? An attribute that supplies a value to other relative attributes is called as the store. Example, date of birth, date of joining, etc. So these are some different symbols for the attributes. Here, attributes that will get a value to the other relative attributes is called as a derived attribute. So this is the symbol for attribute. What is key attributes? Then composite attribute. So this is the composite attribute. As you say that suppose student name, first name, last name. Then multi-valued attributes. So this is a symbol for multi-valued attribute. Let us discuss some notations used in the ER diagram. So first notation is a rectangle. It is called as the entity set. Then a rectangle into rectangle, that is weak entity set. Diamond, this is relationship between entities. Okay. Then this is a line, that is links between uh, entity and attribute or a relationship to entity. What is derived attribute? There is dotted ellipse. This is derived attribute. So this is an example of a ER diagram, you can say, or it is not a complete ER diagram. It is only one entity set. Student. Okay. What student contain? Student roll number, student date of birth, student address, which is again divided into a permanent address and correspondence address. Student age, it is a derived attribute which is calculated from date of birth. Okay, means you can calculate that age from date of birth. So that's why it is a dotted. Branch, college. Okay, these are also called as the derived. Okay, so in today's session, we'll stop here.